So we will start. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinādāna veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kāmesu miccāchārā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musāvādā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Suramēraya majjapamā daṭṭhānā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dhamma. I take refuge in the Sangha. For the second time and for the third time, I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dhamma. I take refuge in the Sangha. I abstain from killing and taking lives. I abstain from stealing. I abstain from sexual misconduct. I abstain from telling lies and harsh speech. I abstain from alcohol, intoxications, and drugs. Ittipiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vidyacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma sarathi sattha deva manussanam buddho bhagavati. Swakhato bhagavata dhammo sanditthiko akaliko ehi passiko opanayiko paccatthang veditabbo vinyuhiti. Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Ujjupatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Nyāyapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. Sāmīci patipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho. यदिदं चत्वारि पुरिसयुगानि अट्ठपुरिसपुग्गला एष भगवतो सावकसङ्घो पाहुनेयो पाहुनेयो दक्षिणेयो अञ्जलिकरणीयो अनुत्तरं पुण्यकृतं लोकस्याति साधु साधु. Now is the time for meditation. You have your eyes closed, and this way you can turn off any signals coming to your brain through what you see. Pay attention to your shoulders where there might be some anxiety. Please relax your shoulders. You also relax your jaws. Your earlobes. Your sitting bones relaxed. Your knees and all parts of your body down to the soles of your feet. Relaxed, and you are grounded, deeply rooted, being rooted to the ground. Now that you are established here and now, you bring your attention to the center of your body. Your heart base, which is where some of the most valuable functions in the body take place. You can notice your breath. You can get involved by deeply breathing, supporting your lungs, If you have to adjust your body, feel free to do so, and you do it mindfully. Mindfully, you breathe in, mindfully, you breathe out. Mindfully, you breathe in, mindfully, you breathe out. Mindfully, you breathe in, mindfully, you breathe out. Mindfully, you breathe in, Mindfully you breathe out. Mindfully you breathe in. Mindfully you breathe out. If your mindfulness is taken, occupied by something else that you feel in your body, pay attention to that. Accept it without struggling. Let it disappear or let it stay until it disappears. Come back to this breath. That is, this breath is happening now, not in the past, not in the future. So mindfully, you breathe in, mindfully, you breathe out. We do deep breaths now, mindful deep breath. Deep exhaling mindfully. Mindful deep breath. Deep exhaling mindfully. Mindful deep breath. Deep exhaling mindfully. Mindful natural breath, inhaling and exhaling mindfully. Long or short natural breath. You do your mindful cleansing as you are being aware, fully aware from the beginning to the end. Aware in the whole body. Where in your whole body you breathe in and breathe out. Body's awareness turn into tranquility, samadhi. Continue to stay with whatever, however the breath happens, you continue to stay with it. Let the breath disappear. Separate your mind from body. Divide it into four and fill it with loving kindness. All quarters. There are people living in this world in different countries. They do their things. May all these beings be well and happy. In front of you, above you, below you, and behind you. On your left and right. Every thought, every movement has a loving kindness attitude, friendly attitude toward yourself and others. Less thoughts. Mind is thought free, finally getting silence. So for today, your actions will be mindful, whether you are walking, sitting, lying down, drinking tea, having food, or talking, or remaining in silence. In all these moments, you will use extensive mindfulness to achieve great peace or maintain this peace within your day. You don't rush to do things, you do things, but you are doing things very mindfully and not the same way you used to. Not that fast. Cutting vegetables, you do it very, absorbed, very mindful. So today I like to share two questions that came my way. One is about these young people thinking nobody's helping us, nobody's there for us, and you feel withdrawn from the world. They don't see the future. They don't see any support. They feel like life is ending at some point now than they imagine. I mean, they feel like their life is worthless. Nobody is giving them jobs. Nobody is giving this and that. So, are they living conclusions about life, or are they suffering their imaginations? Are they suffering their memories, or are they suffering their life? So, this is the problem. We think that we suffer the whole life when we encounter one or two problems or more problems and we face some situations. Therefore, putting yourself in perspective in such situations will be helpful to you and helpful to learn that so that you can teach one friend who may be going through that same situation. We live conclusions. We have a label for everything. We know this thing is this. Therefore, we are living conclusions in our life. We have conclusions about some people. That blinds us from seeing good things or bad things about somebody or realistically seeing things. So in your life, if we tend to have conclusions about somebody or something, that this person is bad, this person is good, you are you are the determinant factor. You are making these decisions. And in the same way, if you think about something like my life has no use, you are suffering your imaginations. You don't suffer your life. Life has a long period from birth to death. This thing is life. Your birth happened, you were brought to this world, many things right. And you are now, you passed your teenage years, you passed your middle age, you came to older age. Many things are right about this life. There is free sunlight, there is free moonlight, there is night coming, there is coolness, there is space, there is earth, there is air. There are people around you, there are friends, there are monks giving teachings, there are temples, nothing is closed. So we don't have to suffer our imaginations. Now that is also connected with suffering our memories about things. Memories are dead things, experiences. You can't edit your past. You can only stay in the present. If you can't suffer, since suffering your imaginations, that is your future, is useless, you rather not the dead past, not the suffering, your imaginations, the future, you remain present, insightful, cultivating wisdom. And with this insightful wisdom is about being here and now. You realize you only have this moment, the moment to die, moment to be born again, moment to awaken, moment to see only what you are supposed to be seeing or what is there, not what you imagine is there. So the second question is this. Some people, they say, be mindful to their children. This is because a son from a successful family living in Australia, finishing his IT degree and establishing a company there, vehicle export company there. His first vehicle came just yesterday to Australia. And he was telling, I see people, they say, they tell me to be mindful, they tell me to do this, do that. They say, no, but then they are crying when there is a problem. And I see that within my own family. And I was withdrawn from Buddhism for those reasons until when I felt problems in my life and I decided to quit everything and go back to Sri Lanka. And then I met my auntie. She lived here in the United States. She went back to Sri Lanka and she was teaching statistics in Columbia University. She quit her job and she completely lives a reclusive life now. And I spoke with her. She came to speak with me because she's my family. And she made more sense than those people who were telling me to be mindful. And then he realized that there are people who live the ideal of, who live the idea of living mindfully, and there are people who actually live mindfully. These two are two different things. The idea of living mindful gives you a lot of suffering that you try to tell others about the idea and you don't live it. Therefore, you don't set an example. When that auntie came to see him, she said just one thing, that your ego is controlling your life's direction. Don't take anything as personal in life. Have that insight. All these things that we are experiencing is not yours. So let that sink in. You imagine things to be this way and that way. Therefore, you come to the same level that I experience mindfully in my life, that I see things as they really become. And then he took a deep breath, he stopped for a second, stepped back, and realized nothing is to be taken personally. There is full potential in life that you can do many things and not get personally involved with them. Things go right, things go wrong. So what? Conditions are only things that exist in the world. Therefore, he went back to Australia. He wanted to teach what he learned, so he helped his friend from Japan when he was going through some problems, gave his presence, gave right perspective about everything. Nothing should be taken that seriously. This too shall pass. Began living life without conclusions as they become, and life became so meaningful to him ever after. I told you that he established his company in Australia and is importing his first vehicle through his father's company. So I really praised him for doing that work. So he is not living a withdrawn life. Buddhism is for the success of your life because you take it the way the Buddha has taught it, that nothing has to be taken personally. even for your awakening. You first establish your company and then you can let go of it, I told him. If you are letting go of the idea of establishing it, you are really faking your life. You are just being lazy. You are using Buddhism for the downfall of the mankind. So when I was accepted to come to Harvard, the American monk friends told me, "You have nothing to learn there. You have learned Buddhism." Then I spoke with my friend in Ogegoda. From here, I made a call, and he said, "Don't believe that. You first have to go experience it and then let go of it. Without experiencing it, how can you let go of it?" And I was only accepted for 1 year. And when I went, I liked the program, I liked the people, I loved learning Pali from my professor there, and I still am in touch with him. And I ended up doing 3 years of full degree there, a master's. And it stayed another year, doing community service for what I had learned from from this country to give back. In all these places I went, I was able to be a presence to others as much as I could, using any insight I may have learned from my education, from my life as a monk. So, perspective, right perspective about these things. So, I trust that you understood these points. We can end today with loving kindness, and if you have questions, you may ask. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and in safety. May all beings be at ease, whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding, by not holding to fixed views. The pure hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. May all beings be well, and may heavenly beings rejoice in our good karma. May our departed relatives receive the merits that we have just obtained. May they also find happiness and well-being, ultimately ending their sufferings. Sadhu, sadhu. Anything to say?
Thank you for sharing your thoughts on how you went to Harvard. It's really helpful.
I
There
think
was
I've shared this many times before to different audiences, and I don't know where I spoke about it.
it's good to know. Thanks. There was a Bante.
That's right.
Thank you, Hamadurani. It was really nice. Thank you.
You're very kind every day. So shall we end? So Champanona and Dilini, all these people, we Sangha love you for joining every morning on Saturdays and look forward to seeing you again. So let's meet on Monday with the Sutra.
Thank you, Hamdurji. It was great. Thank you.
Happy meditation. We'll stop here.